guys, it's Nia from niaphillip.com and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to the Get to Know You series. The Get to Know You series is a 10-part series where I share a bit about myself in hopes that you guys will share a bit about yourself. In this episode, we're gonna jump into my 2020 6-month check-in. So let's get into it. So before I dive into things, I want to take things back a bit. So at the end of 2019, I really took a really close look at where I was in my life and where I wanted to be. And the distance between the two was just too far for me. So I knew that for 2020, I wanted it to be a transformative year and I wanted to decrease the gap between where I am and where I want to be. So that was my entire intention going into 2020. I decided that my word for the year was going to be leverage. If you've watched a past video of mine called How to Transform Your Life in 2020, you kind of see how my plan for that. So I chose the word leverage and then I broke the year into 4 quarters and each quarter had its own theme. So Q1 was order, Q2 was maximize, Q3 is multiply, and Q4 will be sustained. If you'd like to see kind of more details about why I chose those words and how I broke it down, you can see that you can go check out my video on how to make your 2020 transformative. So before I dive into things, I want to take things back a bit. So at the end of 2019, I really took a close look at where I was in my life and where I wanted to be. And the gap in between the two was just too far for me. So I knew that going into 2020, I wanted to decrease the gap between where I was and where I wanted to be. So that was my entire intention going into 2020. So if you've watched my past video on how to make your 2020 transformative, you know that I chose the word leverage for my year. I chose leverage because I just felt like I had all of this potential that I hadn't lived up to yet, that I wasn't actually using yet, and I wanted to change that. So I chose leverage and then I chose to break the year into 4 quarters and each quarter had its own theme. So Q1 was order, Q2 was maximize, Q3 is multiply, and Q4 will be sustained. So I had my plan and I was ready to tackle 2020 and then 2020 happened and we all know that 2020 has been a very difficult year. And I knew that 2020 was not going to be a year to play with. When Kobe and Gigi died so tragically, I still can't believe that. That was one of the most horrific things that I could have ever imagined happening at such an early part of the year. So I think for a lot of us that kind of was a wake-up call and just kind of shaped how we were going to approach the year. So may Gigi and Kobe rest in peace. I'm still struggling to understand that one. And then it didn't stop there, right? Now we're in the middle of a pandemic, racial unrest, widespread unemployment. So it's been a really difficult year. Personally, I have broken down quite a few times. I've had extremely happy days and I've had really difficult, sad, and frustrating days as well. So 2020 by no means has taken her foot off of our necks, but most of us are really just still trying to maintain some sense of normalcy, still trying to go after the dreams that we have, despite all of the difficulties that we're faced with. And that's commendable. And that's kind of been my approach, is to try to stay focused on the things that I still want to accomplish. There are really 4 things I want to highlight in this video, in this check-in, and each of them can probably be or probably will be their own mini series because that's how much I've learned. That's how new they were to me. So I'm probably going to create a few mini series for you guys around the topics and around the accomplishments that I'm about to talk about. So the first thing is, and if you follow me on Instagram, I've kind of laid out my money journey, my money mindset journey, and it's really been a journey for me. But the first one is that I saved $10,000, and that may not be a lot of money to a lot of people, but to me, it's a huge accomplishment because I have just been such a spender. And my money mindset was really around sort of my childhood when I saw my mom struggling with money and worrying about money. So I told myself that I would never worry about money and I would treat it as this thing that just comes and goes. And when I have it, I have it. And when I don't have it, I know more is coming. So I never really learned how to manage my money, how to save my money, how to save my money and potentially use it to buy assets. So this year, at the end of 2019 and at the beginning of this year, I spent a lot of time doing research about how I could make my money work for me and how I could make my money generate more income for me. So that has been my approach to money this year, which is completely new to me. So a huge part of that was coming up with a comprehensive savings plan and to really cut back on my spending. Even though I didn't need to live paycheck to paycheck, I was living paycheck to paycheck because I was just spending money on whatever I wanted. So I wanted to break that habit, break sort of those traumas around money. So that's kind of what my intention was in terms of like saving a lot more of my money and then taking that money and investing it into income generating assets. So that was number one. The second thing is that I became a homeowner. So I bought my first multi-family home, and a multi-family home is a home where there are multiple units in the building. So you can live on one floor and rent out the other floors to tenants. It's a real estate strategy called house hacking. So you really keep your expenses low, or you keep your mortgage payments low by having tenants that pay some of the mortgage or all of the mortgage. So I wanted to invest in property and really start house hacking. And I was able to find and purchase my first multi-unit home. That was mostly due to the fact that I had been saving a lot of money and also really focusing on how I can invest in income generating assets. So that's what I did. And I mean, it's extremely difficult to even believe that I still can't believe that I became a homeowner. I still can't believe how quickly I was able to change my mindset, do the work, and then accomplish something that has been on my list for such a long time. And maybe it was not on my list sort of like, oh, buy this income generating property or buy this income generating asset. But, most people want to become homeowners. I've shared in a previous video that, I think in my last video actually, that I was, for a short time homeless when we first moved to New York City. And I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was kind of like telling me all of the places that she's lived since she came to the United States. So it's been a journey for my family. It really has. We've lived in the apartment that we are moving from for 9-10 years. So it's truly been a journey for my family. This feels like a momentous moment for us to really start to build generational wealth, to really start changing our lives. And I'm honored to lay that foundation for my family. I'm honored to go on this journey with them. So I'm really excited. I learned so much in this process, and I can't wait to share more with you guys, and I definitely will as time goes on. I'm actually in the process of packing and moving this week. So I have vlogs, I have tons of footage that I can share, and in due time I'll share it all with you guys so you guys can really be a part of this journey with me. And I am so appreciative of your support and your kind words. So thank you guys for that. And number 3 is that I was promoted. So it's crazy because the day that my loan officer called me to tell me that I was cleared to close on the house was the day also that the COO, I had a stand-in meeting with the COO of the company that I work for, and he told me that day that I will also be getting a promotion. So it was such a thrilling day. It's probably not going to be a day that I forget anytime soon. After just months of working and ups and downs emotionally about the house, and it's really been a challenge at my full-time job, challenges that the pandemic has presented to us to keep our team safe and also keep a business functioning so people can continue to get paid and continue to take care of their families. This is not easy work. So we take it very seriously and very personally. We actually closed our warehouse for quite some time in the earlier months of the pandemic so we can ensure that our team members were safe. So yeah, it's going to be a very challenging Q4. It's usually challenging for us, but it's going to be even more challenging right now. I work for an online store, and our sales during Q4 peaks. It's a tremendous peak. So I'll be focusing on that. I'm excited for the challenge. I don't know if that makes me, a little bit crazy, but I'm excited for the challenge. But I'm also really, really nervous about having to deliver on a holiday season during a pandemic. So we will see. But I am excited to continue to lead my team, continue to help people that I work with get better, and continue to provide an experience for my team that is one that puts them first. So I'm excited. And last but not least, I started a side hustle as a content strategist, content creator, and that has also really, really blown my mind. The demand. I have clients. I am launching passive products in the next few weeks. So I am really, really excited. I had to pull together a team really quickly that can help support me and ensure that my clients are taken care of, and ensure that the products that I want to release are well done and of the quality that I think people have come to expect from the work that I do. So I'm really, really excited. In the beginning of the year, I ended Creative Smart Girl, and I had no idea where that was going to take me. The brand that I designed in my head at the end of Creative Smart Girl is very far from the brand that I have right now as a content strategist, content creator, and I didn't expect that, but it's been an extremely rewarding experience. I have completely embraced being a beginner at the beginning of building a business, and I'm sharing a lot of what I'm learning along the way over on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me there, please follow me on Instagram, and you can see a lot of the behind the scenes of what it's like to build a successful side hustle while having a 9-to-5, while investing in property, and while getting, just living my life. So it's been a tremendous journey. I'm at the very beginning of it. So I'm really, really excited about my content strategy business. I see the future. I see the future, and it's looking pretty clear and pretty bright if I, continue to put in the work. So I'm extremely excited. 2020 has not been without its challenges. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It has not been without its challenges, but I've refused to just, say 2020 is done. I've refused to just allow this year to get the best of me, and this isn't a judgment for how anyone else is choosing to handle this year. I think it's totally up to everyone how they're choosing to handle this year. I have just decided to, remain focused and go after the things that I've been, wanting to go after but haven't really put in the work for. So I'm putting into work, and so far, so this year, I am blown away of all the things that I've been able to accomplish over the last 6-7 months. So I'm really, really excited. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have questions, comments, please leave them below. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.